How's it going, guys? And welcome to your Smackdown review. And I want to thank everybody for the success of the Piper Niven video I put out. And I noticed something. This is definitely going to make me want to make more of those types of videos. Because I notice people do gravitate towards those videos, like with little news stories and things like that, and like a focused topic instead of just like a review. I've noticed now the reviews are not going anywhere, so don't get nervous about that. We've also got a Hell in a Cell review to get to tomorrow, and but I've got to do more videos because I was looking at the analytics, looking at the top videos, and it seems like the top video that I did was the releases, the Aleister Black, Braun Strowman releases. And the Piper Niven one was in a pretty close second, really, with only like a 200 view difference. But those videos cleared 1,000 like with no problem. And the reviews kind of struggled to get there, but the subscriber count has been going up. And I got to even thank the haters. Tons of people were complaining about me fat shaming Piper Niven and everything, and like these people are like so stupid, because they don't even realize like half the time that I've actually really like Nia Jax. I'm attracted to Nia Jax, and I actually am attracted to some BWs, to be quite honest. Just for a little fact there, I think I've said that in the past, but maybe I haven't reiterated a lot of times. But I like Nia Jax. You wouldn't really say that Nia Jax is in shape, but she definitely looks better and carries it better than Piper Niven. And what was really hilarious to me is a lot of people are coming at me, particular people saying, "Oh, you don't know her indie work and you're pathetic and all that." And the funny thing is that if you ever notice, that's why I usually, when I say something that I know is going to be controversial, I usually follow up with that. Oh, there's going to be a lot of people saying that I'm fat shaming, or maybe I didn't say fat shaming, I said, but like body positivity people. And sure enough, those people came out in droves. So like, you guys, you fell like right into the trap there. Now, I'm not trolling or anything, of course. That was my honest opinion. She looked like a demented blueberry out there. A blueberry buffoon. And, people just basically did just as I predicted. So, to me, it was a better video than I could have hoped for. So, thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all my fans. And if you're a fan, you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? You better start subscribing. Yeah, please. Guys, and click the bells to get all notifications. Maybe that's it. Maybe more people got notified with those videos. Maybe that they're not necessarily better. But it also might be, you see me comparing the girl to the Willy Wonka girl, Violet. And honestly, like, who could not resist clicking on that? Come on, right? Anyway, even though I gotta give credit where credit's due, somebody posted a meme on Facebook, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own little spin-off of that and do a side-by-side. So, happy with that video. Thanks again, guys. But let's get into this SmackDown. So, of course, what's the biggest thing here? So, I figured I'm not gonna make fun of Bayley and Bianca Belair in the thumbnail, because we've done that. We're going to, of course, talk about it at length. And that was the other thing that I didn't get to thank people for. Thanks for, like, coming into the comments. It was 2 weeks ago, and really, like, a lot of people, which really made me feel good, were like, oh, no, don't shorten the videos. Like, it was more people than I noticed. When I said that, they were like, no, like, if anything, make them longer. So the fact that you want me to, like, just keep talking makes me feel good. Like, because I wouldn't have been insulted if you guys wanted edited videos. Like, if that's clearly what you wanted, I would take a little bit of extra time and edit them, even if that meant like having to release it a day later or something like that. But no, people said, go ahead, do them long. I watched them. people were saying, I play it when I'm doing something in the house, and by all means, because, like, you don't have to, look at me, obviously, when you do these videos. Maybe it helps with the facials. I sometimes think that it does. That's why you notice I don't really try to edit in any, like, photos or pictures or do, like, kind of what the great one does. Because the reason why I asked that is because I looked at the analytics and I saw people watch J Rants. They watch, unfortunately, they watch JD. Some people. Those are the people who are hate watching me. But I don't really get as many haters. Like, years ago on YouTube, I used to get, like, tons of haters, but I don't get them anymore. But people watch the great one. And I noticed, like, the great one and me, we have quite different opinions on wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, I think that guy he's not really a smart, but he kind of is. And the one thing that I didn't like is him, like, trying to, fuck around with wrestlers on Twitter and anything. But, I mean, the guy that puts together a good presentation. So, but I guess not. I guess you guys must watch for different reasons. Or, maybe the analytics are just, wrong. I don't know. But anyway, so let's get into this SmackDown. I just wanted to thank you guys for coming out and, talking about that at length, about wanting to see longer videos. Anyway, we've got Rey Mysterio and Roman Reigns kicking off this show with a promo. Roman gives Rey one last chance. So if you didn't know, obviously we're having the Hell in the Cell match tonight. Just in case you didn't already know that from the thumbnail, from the announcement. I was not surprised by this. I said, go ahead and do it. I mean, because really when you think about it, Peacock is streamed. People who are going to watch Peacock were going to watch it anyway. Now, maybe that might affect their viewership on there. So maybe, I don't know how Peacock feels about that, if they even care. But the other thing is, it could lead to better ratings. I don't expect this to drive ratings up. I don't think that there's ever going to be a match. They could do an elimination chamber on SmackDown or Raw. It does not matter. Until they do something truly groundbreaking, as much as it's like, well, Hell in a Cell, they have not done that in years. The last time they did it was in 1998. When they had the Hell in the Cell. They had the Undertaker and Kane in the Hell in the Cell, and then they also had the tag match. Though those were shorter matches, and they didn't have official finishes, either one of them. But, they were great segments, and they made for some great TV. But those were more story-driven, and this may be, but you got to go watch those and see. Those were a little bit different. Those were a bit more chaotic. This was a regular match. Not to say that it was a tame match at all, but we'll get to it later on. So, like, this opening promo, this was okay. It wasn't great. It didn't really grab me. It didn't feel like it was anything too important being said. I understand, you kind of want to shape it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Like, this is the first thing I'm seeing. There was nothing that was added to the Hell in the Cell from this. So it's like, it kind of wasn't needed. You want a little bit of backstory, but like, after like the whole fight last week, Rey Mysterio was like containing himself. See, that's the part that like you don't really buy. That Rey is like, yeah, he's all fired up and everything, but I understand he wants to like save it for later tonight, but like he's going to wait an hour and a half to get at Roman, and just like, how is he containing himself after what he did to his son? He's talking about and everything. It just, I don't know, kind of lame to say the least, to just have them kind of staring at each other, not anything new being said. We already know that Rey is pissed off. There could have been like security getting between them, something like that, to kind of show like why Rey wouldn't do anything right now, is all I'm saying. I gotta just like sat back and like, he's not doing anything, and I know that's obviously the reason, but like they're putting this invisible barrier because, you know, they don't want them to touch. So, like, the thing is also, like, first of all, you're putting them out there. There's other ways of doing this, and it didn't really make a lot of sense, to say the least. Then we've got Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz defeating Kevin Owens and Big E. So Sami Zayn is, you know, on commentary, and he's coming at Owens, and Owens, you know, is lunging at him. He gets distracted, gets in the ring, and Aziz hits him with, I'll tell you something. When you do that Samoan spike or that Nigerian nail super fast like that, it doesn't look good. They were, like, confused. Like, McAfee and Cole were like, oh, it was like an uppercut style. No, it was shit style. It didn't look good. Look, this had been said time and time again. Ben Hameen said this in the Raw Smackdown review over on Russo's channel over on Realm, if you're a subscriber. When Umaga would do it, he would go, he'd grab the guy by the back of their head and go, ah! And, like, you know, that move, like, needs the drama. It needs the setup. If you don't have the setup and you're just doing one of these little quick ones, it doesn't look good. That's a move where, you know, even when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is a little goofy here. But, you know, then I warmed up to it later on because, yeah, you appreciate the Umaga character. And I get this, you know, like, that they're trying to, like, revive this move, but, you know, if Aziz is going to do it like this, and and then he did a slightly more precise one that was a bit slower, but still, like, he does not do this move as good. So, like, a move like this, it's a very delicate move that if you're going to do it, you got to make it look good. You know, it's not something like a DDT where, you know, most people do it and it looks okay for when most people do it, even the not so great guys. But, you know, the Samoan spike, that's a move that, like, you have to have a real expert in there, like when Umaga was doing it. That's why you didn't really see too many other guys doing it after his passing until now. And I get, like, we kind of want to revive it, and it should not be revived if it's going to be remembered in this fashion, being performed very shoddily. And this guy, I mean, this outfit, I mean, I get it. You know, maybe they wanted to make him the commander at the last second, so they gave him the goofiest outfit they could find. Hey, you know, here's $10, run down the Party City and go get the nearest looking, like, kind of suit, military looking suit you could find. They come back with that garbage. Okay, it was the last thing left. I get it. Halloween clearance. But now, like, we're, like, months into this already. You know, like, he appeared at WrestleMania for the first time. We're already, believe it or not, like 2 months from Mania. So it's time to, like, get a better outfit for this guy. He looks like a damn goon. I mean, seriously. I mean, he looks like he's wearing a total schmata out there. I mean, that's the most hideous looking outfit I think I've seen. I mean, like, can we at least, like, take a look at the network and look at the Truth Commission and just have some better outfits? Like, you know, I get we want to make him the commander and everything and not necessarily like a regular soldier, but, you know, it seems like the tassel, the rope he has on the shoulder, it looks like it's made from really cheap material, and it just looks plain goofy. I did really like the little performance that Zayn was doing when he was getting super close to Owens. Kind of almost looked like he wanted to make out with him a little bit. Like, Owens, I know we always fight, but I'm really attracted to you. No, like, we're not even going to touch that. As I said, Zayn's performance, he's really upped it over the years. He really tries, but, like, I don't, you know, after Mania, he's kind of getting cooled off a lot. They're getting away from the conspiracy stuff. You know what happened with the guys with the cameras filming him going around? You know, he had the trailer. I get a feeling we're not going to ever see that documentary. You know, like, that would be funny to see, because what they showed in the trailer, there was some funny stuff. You know, they tried to parody Charlie from, you know, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the whole mailroom bit. You know, when he had all this stuff posted on the wall trying to explain the conspiracy of where the mail comes from. And, it had me intrigued. And I know several others, more than several, a lot of people kind of liked what they saw there. But what are we doing now? Owens stumbles in coughing. He must have choked on a donut. Must have wolfed down the Big Mac a little too fast. Oh, he just had a match, but it's because of the Samoan spike. No. Come on. That guy, you're telling me he can't go through several donuts in the span of a commercial break? Come on. You know it's true. Anyway, he goes in there to Sonya Deville and weirdo Pierce. Pierce with always the goofiest expression on his face. Sonya Deville totally deadpan, no personality. They give him a match with Zayn at Hell in a Cell. Just what we've always wanted. Another match between Zayn and Owens. Fight forever. Yeah, they're not kidding when they say fight forever. They're going to fight till the end of time. This is not a match that anyone wants to see. Like, why do they keep on booking this match? Only the biggest diehards who love their matches and Ring of Honor constantly. I mean, I cannot believe that when I used to attend Ring of Honor shows that these guys were still wrestling. He was El Generico. Take the mask off, and now he's wrestling Owens 1,000 times over. Like, I'm sorry, they've done almost every possible thing that they could do. It is time to stop it already. We've seen them wrestle enough. We're not getting anything out of this. It would be better to focus on Zayn's character instead of just having maybe Owens crush him in another match. Unless, Zayn will get like a distraction finish. Is he going to roll him up for the victory? Perhaps. I would say it's almost a safe bet because Owens won at Mania. So 50-50 booking, right, guys? Yeah, 50-50 booking. Oh, God. Anyway, Naka Murphy defeated Baron Corbin or King Corbin in the battle for the crown. Oh, yeah. Now, the crown is totally worthless. It's the crown that Corbin basically started wearing after winning King of the Ring 2 years ago. And, I was talking about this on Facebook. My friend Sergio Flores, some of us, who are Facebook friends, you probably know him. We're talking about King of the Ring. WWE is rumoring King of the Ring. And the thing is, to me, like, do not do King of the Ring anymore. Even though, King Booker was over, I never particularly liked it. I always have loved Booker T. I've always said that in my videos. Booker T is one of my favorites of all time. Booker T is also one of the smartest wrestlers of all time. I love listening to Booker T. He's always insightful. He's a great wrestler, a great personality. I mean, you want to talk about a complete package, Booker T is your guy. Now, Booker T to me, I mean, he did the best he could with that character, but it was just so lame. And I get it, we were supposed to be annoyed at him and everything, and maybe it worked from that angle, but the whole angle of him being the king and just Sharmell constantly saying, "All hail King Booker, all hail King Booker." I remember I would get headaches every single night, every single Friday night, when SmackDown was on Friday nights in 2006, and it continued into 2007, and he was the World Heavyweight Champion. I was like, oh my God. They need to stop with this already. I was getting so sick and tired of that gimmick. And I was like, can he please just go back to being classic Booker T with the spinneroonie, please? And I get it, like, Booker T never had, like, a character, like a gimmick like that. But he was always bursting with personality, so he really didn't need it. But I get it. They wanted to give him a championship run. And they wanted to give him a little something extra. And also, we hadn't had a King of the Ring tournament in several years. So it was, so they wanted to do something like that. And so, yeah, King Booker. And then we move on. And then we had, they had Sheamus win it. Okay, and they didn't make him parade around the crown. They did call him King Sheamus for a few weeks, but it was just pretty much meaningless. It was just, oh, we're doing a King of the Ring tournament. Hey! And then it was just basically that, and we moved on. Then you had King Barrett, which was just totally stupid, and he just did not fit that role good. I was talking about on Facebook, like how much the Bad News Barrett gimmick was so great, and then they came along and just scooped that to the side and said, oh, King Barrett. And then they had him walking around with the whole cape and everything, and I was like, oh my God, like, just because he won King of the Ring, he has to walk around with it like King Booker. And, it was because, oh, he's British, so he's going to be a British king. Oh, like, right? Oh, my God. And then you have King Corbin. He wins King of the Ring, and they make that into his gimmick. Oh, he's a king. And we're kind of going to give him a pseudo, Game of Thrones thing, but not really make him too kingy. And I don't know. They had him like being carried out on that platform, and then they kind of gave up on that. Then they gave him henchmen, and then they gave up on that. And we were like, this should have just ended like a year ago. Even sooner than that. And he kept this going. 2019, 2020, and the entire pandemic, the entire Thunderdome. This guy was dressed up as the king, and now Naka Murphy with a goofy face. I mean, this. Can you imagine the guy? I mean, I guess he's getting paid well. More power to him. Signed on so he can make goofy faces in the crowd. This is what he saw. And then Boogs comes and plays the guy. It's a fucking circus. We're wrestling over crowns. I mean, when did you ever see Jerry the King Lawler wrestle for the possession of his crown? You mean to tell me a big guy like Corbin can't just, I lost a match, so now you gotta keep the crown? Like, it's just a fucking crown. And we're wrestling over it weeks on end. Oh, I got the crown. Oh, it's not even a belt. It's a damn crown. And it's a crown that he won 2 years ago. It's irrelevant now. I get it's part of his gimmick, but like at this stage in his career, how long has he been in the WWE and been King of the Ring, and now we're only getting around to this? He was Money in the Bank. I mean, he was Constable Corbin. I mean, you think of this whole thing, winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I get it. That's totally worthless. It doesn't mean a thing, but like, really, you see like all these things, feud with Cena, feud with Reigns, and then demoted. I mean, he's pushed, he's demoted, he's pushed, and he's demoted. Like, it's enough already. It's nauseating watching this guy just go around in fucking circles and not do any. But that's basically the whole roster. I get it. But like maybe him more than anything, they have circled this guy around. I guess that's why they made him the king for so long, because it's like, well, what else are we going to do with them? Well, I'll just have him do this bit for a while. We got nothing else. Yeah, something creative never has anything for anybody. It's like, I can't think of anything. You haven't thought of anything in years. You haven't had a thought. It's all been the wrestlers. Anything that seems intelligent or promising has all been the wrestlers coming up with the idea. All these things like The Fiend and everything, not Creative's idea. Broken Matt Hardy, not Creative's idea. I mean, you just name it. The Roman Reigns tribal chief thing, Reigns went to go get himself acting lessons. Not Creative's idea. I mean, nothing is their idea. And when it is their idea, it's fucking terrible. I mean, okay, we got to have writers. We don't want wrestlers running the show, because we see what happens, in AEW when they give almost everybody creative control. It's even more of a circus over there. People debate this on end, but I don't care what anybody says. That show is 10 times worse. That show, this show can be is a lot of times unwatchable. That is completely unwatchable. I will not even watch it to review it on here, even though people would probably watch the reviews. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't sit through AEW like that anymore. I've done it enough. I did it enough. After the explosions and the cardboard steel ramp, I'm out. No more for that. No more AEW. No more Dynamite. Dynamite. If I want Dynamite, I'm gonna watch Good Times. Fuck AEW. Anyway, talking about AEW now. Let's move on. All right. So Nakamura, celebrates with Boogs. He makes weird faces as Boogs plays the guitar. It's fantastic. Just an amazing segment. He won a crown, guys. Whoa. My socks they're blown off. My socks are blown off. Here's my socks. They're blown off. There goes a sock. What can I tell you? Anyway, we've got Bayley and Bianca Belair. So Belair comes out first, and she does her whole little diatribe there. Seriously, I managed to memorize my promo. Then, great. The same thing, smiling. Hey, so sick and tired of this. Does anybody realize that, people hated The Rock when he first debuted because he was smiling like a goofball? And then when they changed it, that's when he was over. Not saying it's going to be the same type of Cinderella story there for Bianca. Of course, it's not going to be nothing like The Rock. But you get the point. No one likes the smiling, goofy-ass baby face. That worked in the 80s for some people, definitely doesn't work now. It's not going to work. There's, we've got a few goofballs on the internet. Oh, I love her. Oh, come on already. So Bayley comes out, and I know she's had this theme for a while, but I was just kind of sitting back and thinking to myself, you guys need to go watch what's his name? His name is Chris Valente or something. He did a really good interview with Jim Johnson, the absolute genius who composed wrestling themes for over 30 years until Vince McMahon decided to release the guy, not use him, to replace him with Def Rebel. and in turn you get themes like this. What's the she's heavenly or divine. I get the second half of the theme. We kind of want to give her a little bit of a rock theme to kind of get the that she's a heel and everything, but and then you see anything but a goddess come out from the entrance, and you're like, oh. I'm sorry, but no, that would work for Charlotte or someone like that. But no, not for Bayley. Anyway, Bayley comes out. She brawls with Bianca. She uses her. The thing with using the hair already, I already said this. I got tired of it the first time it happened. Using someone's own hair as a weapon is just totally goofy beyond belief. It's a giant hair extension. That's what it is. And she, seriously, it makes her look stupid. It makes Bianca Belair look I know people are going to say, well, the hair is what gives her the look. To me, it makes her look like a goofball. And I said that from day one. This is a physically fit female that does not need that goofy long ponytail. She could have one half the size of it. Do it down to the middle of your back or to your upper back. Do it to the middle of the back. but that, like, down to your ankles is ridiculous. It's stupid. I mean, I would love to see someone, like, you know, do a submission hold on her with the hair. That, like, they probably will do that. Anyway, if this whole entire thing was to set up a Hell in a Cell, oh, so that's it. That's why we're doing Rey and Roman Reigns, because thank God they have said that now, because they're on Peacock, it doesn't work the same way as the network, so now they're going to have shorter pay-per-views. Beautiful. Holy mackerel. Thank the Lord. I'm going to review these things, and I only have to sit there probably they're going to do like what they were doing before the last pay-per-view, before Backlash. They're probably going to have it at 2.5 hours, which is just perfect. If it's even 2 hours, then I'll be like, oh my God, thank you. Anyway, because I mean, that was the match I was looking forward to, is the one that we're having tonight on this show that we're going to talk about. But now we're going to have to see Bayley and Bianca in the Hell in a Cell. Which, okay, so at least now there's not 3 Hell in a Cells, but like the fact that there is, and I know they've been doing this for years now, the fact that there is more than 1 Hell in a Cell per pay-per-view, it's like the same thing like the Elimination Chambers. It is such overkill. It doesn't matter if they're like both good matches. You know, like last year, it was, I didn't review the pay-per-view. I watched Roman and Jay, and I talked about it, you know, months later. But they had 3 Hell in a Cells. And they didn't do that in 2019. Enough is enough already. Hell in a Cell, Hell in a Cell, Hell in a... Like, it was supposed to be a special thing. A special thing. That most of the time you would only see 1 Hell in a Cell a year. Or 2. Or they would use it on, like, and you saw it on Raw in 1998, you saw it like 3 times, because they used it in 2 other segments to promote that match. And they did like a, you know, like a small follow-up with Kane. But they did to promote SummerSlam is what they did, when they were trying to separate Stone Cold and The Undertaker. So, but you get the point. That you didn't even really see it. Now you're getting a bunch of these all in one night, and it is overkill. You don't need all that. Well, the name of the pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell. Well, it shouldn't be called Hell in a Cell. That's stupid. Change it back to Armageddon or something like that. You know, change it back to No Mercy. You know, change the name on the damn pay-per-view. You know, oh my God, it's Hell in a Cell. Oh, we gotta have one. Gotta have a Hell in a Cell. Jesus Christ, like, come on already. Like, it's enough is enough already. Bayley hits her finisher in the middle of the ring, and then she holds up the title belt, and at least she didn't laugh this time. At least she didn't do that. And then they, on all the screens, it fills up with Bayley holding the title. And I'm like, that's more Bayley than I can handle in a single sitting. At least she didn't laugh. That's all I could say. Then we get Roman Reigns backstage with Jimmy. He has Jimmy where Jay is. He hasn't seen him all week. You know, and Jimmy says he'll have Roman's back. And, you know, he basically says he'll be all right, but he wants the family to be together. They didn't really get the whole family thing as good as last week. Last week, it was very good. This week, I don't know, we're just trying to fill gaps. Like, I don't know what to do. We have a Hell in a Cell match, so we don't really have to focus on really doing anything creative here. Like, just everything was just like, even from the opening promo, just like, nah, this is not that good. Angelo Dawkins comes out for a match with Otis, but Otis and Gable end up double teaming them because the other goof prophet or street goof or street clown, Montez Ford, is out with busted ribs. So they beat up on old Dawkins there, and Otis. You know, they're making him into a monster and everything, which I like. But like this whole team with Gable, it's not going anywhere fast. There's nothing here really for anyone to really sink their teeth into. Oh, they beat up the Street Profits again. Okay, well, we kind of saw that last week. Now we're seeing it again. You see what I mean? Like, and when we saw it backstage too, so it's just, oh, we're going to beat them up every week. Okay, we saw that. What's the next piece in the story? Like, can we move on from this already? It's so repetitive. Talking about multiple Hell in the Cells per night. Multiple segments that repeat themselves. You have no new ideas. Then we get Cesaro and Seth Rollins backstage. Cesaro's having the interview. He's boring us to death. I mean, this guy just, come on. He's not a terrible talker, but his delivery is just so dry. There's just nothing to it. Then, of course, Rollins comes in with the goofy smile. At least he didn't give one a... He didn't shake his leg like a moron this time like he did last week. Then Cesaro, and him exchange words, and Rollins says that he doesn't respect them, and he says, I hate everything you stand for. But then Cesaro tells Rollins, the heel, that he respects him. Okay, so like the guy just told you he doesn't respect you. He thinks, you're a goof, and you're saying, well, I think you're great. Huh? After that, he pushes Rollins over in the chair. After that, Rollins gets up and he huffs and puffs. Does he go after him? No. Does he retaliate? No, of course not. Invisible barrier. Oh, can't do anything. Can't do anything to the pay-per-view, I guess. Okay, I mean, at least we got out of there without a laugh or anything. But, like, just the whole thing there with Rollins trying to be the tough guy there. I don't respect anything you stand for. Okay, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't anything like the past couple of weeks, but it definitely was no picnic listening to that. Then we get the main event, and it was a great main event. What can I say? It was a Hell in a Cell match with two amazingly talented wrestlers in there. Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio, two aces that know exactly what they're doing. And I like the finish. The power bomb. I don't know if that was edited, if they did the same thing with Dominic with the crash pad. It probably was. I can't see Rey being launched into the cell, the power bomb into the side of the cell, and then him just falling down after that. That would be like quite the drop, I think. It's one thing when wrestlers kind of like drop themselves, but he's going backwards and then falling down. No, I think the guy would have broken his neck or something like that. So I don't think this was probably taped. And but I didn't mind. I gotta say, they won't be able to do these things when they get back to the arenas and they get back to touring like normal. But it looked good. And it was believable because Rey was actually, using weapons for most of the match. He used the table, the fire extinguisher. He used the toolbox, which reminded me of Kevin Nash and Triple H in the Hell in a Cell from Bad Blood in 2003. He used a variety of weapons, so it like made sense that the smaller guy would be at the disadvantage. I saw people actually complaining in the comments, about this match, and I was a bit surprised. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with it, and then Reigns grabbed Rey by the head and put him in the guillotine. He kind of modified it, so instead of a front face lock, it's now kind of like just a modified like side head vice maneuver. And okay, I thought it was good. And then after the match, Reigns puts him back in the vice, and then the show kind of ends. The thing here would have been good to have some drama with Jimmy and Jay here, because it just kind of ended with the match ending and Rey just kind of there as a crumpled up mass like on the ground. I don't know, just you kind of want to end a show with a little bit more oomph than that. I mean, you ended it with a Hell in a Cell match, but like, I don't know, that would have been the perfect time to bring out Jay to do something interesting. They could have done something controversial with Jay and Jimmy at ringside. felt like there should have been a little bit of interweaving the story together. Maybe Dominic maybe slipping another weapon through the Hell in a Cell fencing. You know, he could have just done something to help out his dad. He could have been like hobbling to the ring like on crutches or something. It would have been, and maybe, you know, I don't know. It would have been interesting just to add a little outside element to it. But it was a good match, and, you know, it was definitely worth watching. You know, if the match is not really that long, I mean, dear God, they had like 2 commercial breaks I saw. I mean, I watched it online, but like, there's like maybe 2 or 3 commercial breaks. Like, geez, they gotta like place those things better. Remember, like, back in the Attitude Era, if they were gonna have something this late in the show, they usually would say, you know, guys, we've taken our last commercial break. They would like never interrupt the main event. Here, like, you've got like 3 segmented main event. Like, come on already. That is like just killing that match. And like the fact that like people might not come back, they'll flip a channel. Oh, they'll see something more interesting on another channel. They won't come back. So, you know, I do not expect this. I expected maybe to get a few more points than they normally would, but I don't see them hitting like a 3.0 or anything on this show. I just don't see it. It's just, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know if the ratings have been released yet, but I just don't see that happening. Anyway, so yeah, like the Hell in a Cell was good. Rest of the show, not so much. Very disappointed about the Reigns storyline part, especially after, you know, it had been getting good since Jimmy's return. But really, you know, you just had a lot of garbage here. Nothing good, nothing interesting, weird faces, you know, the usual Bianca and Bayley stuff that just is just cringeworthy every single time we see it. Cesaro and Seth Rollins, nothing there. The Dawkins beatdown was a total repeat, and getting tired of the Big E and Apollo Crews and Owen just, you know, always just being there, his donut eating self, and he's got his girlfriend on Raw, Piper Niven. Oh, God. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the review. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. Those WWE video game retrospectives are in the works. I know people are looking forward to those, so I will definitely get them up soon. And guys, I probably also want to review an album that came out, Fear Factory album, great album that just dropped yesterday. So I'm probably going to slip one of those bad boys in there, an old album review. But yeah, there you go, guys. I want to thank all my patrons for your continued support, of course. And guys, I'll be seeing you next time.